The Flat Earth Brothers are a YouTube channel that I first looked at when they thought they could debunk weather.
But I do want to expose some more lies, some fraud, and it's quite impressive. We're going to look at this, what they call high definition camera footage from outside the International Space Station.
Then we debunked their video about seeing too far.
Now we have a horizon that is over 16 miles away, and taking refraction into account, we can see that there should be 6,157 feet of Mount San Jacinto missing. Mount San Jacinto has an elevation of 10,834 feet. By the calculations we've just made and using the figures provided, we should be able to see over 4,000 feet of the top of the mountain.
Well, guess what? They're back! Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Flat Earth Friday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Yes, the Flat Earth Brothers are back and today they seem to have got themselves all excited about an observation. The Black Swan, if you remember, is an observation that the Flat Earthers are clinging to extremely tightly. They don't want to let it go, do they? Bless them. Well, it looks like the Flat Earth Brothers have found a similar observation which they think proves a flat Earth. And today we are going to fully dissect it. Come on then guys, let's see what you've got.
Hello everyone, welcome back. I want to share something really quick. I know you guys have a lot of crazy stuff going on, so I'm just going to get to the point. This is another long distance video to add to the long list of photos and videos we have that see way further than we should, especially over large bodies of water.
All of which have been thoroughly debunked.
It's very similar to the Black Swan photo that gained some fame as it revealed the horizon being way further away from us than it should.
Look at the absolute state of refraction going on there. Because those cranes look like that, don't they?
Definitely further than the 1.2 miles away that it was supposed to be. And this one is a little different in that the oil rig is further than 9.5 miles away. It's actually more than 12. It's closer to 13. Anywhere between 12.5 to 13 miles away is how far the oil rig is. And the location and all of that stuff is in the description. It's off of a shore called Chelsea Beach, and it's in Melbourne, Australia. And the height of the camera is anywhere probably between 5 and 6 feet because he was holding it and looking through the camera. He wasn't using a tripod. I'm sure someone will come in claiming that he's 8 foot tall.
Well, let's take a look at that first, shall we? The elevation of the beach does appear to be 0 meters, so let's say the viewer height is 6 foot.
But I'm guessing he's anywhere between 5.5 and 6.5 feet tall.
Cool, well we'll take 6 foot then. But I went and took a look at the original footage and it appears that the person taking the observation was not stood right down at sea level. You can clearly see here that he is towards the back of the beach as depicted by the person walking in front of him. So, given the Google Earth shows a 1 meter elevation at this point, I think it would be prudent to add 3 foot.
But the long distance that you're going to see, or long distances, there's a couple of them, when he is filming, reveals this oil rig. It's newer to the area. It's been placed in a location as seen on this map here, and we have mapped it out at 12.98 miles. And the distance to this oil rig, you can see the oil rig in its entirety. If you look at actual pictures of it right here, that's what it looks like. And that's the entire rig right there. The lights along the bottom, everything is there as you would expect to see if you were closer to it.
Okay, let's take a look at this rig then. The rig in question is called the Ocean Onyx and was moved to that location a few weeks before this footage was taken. The picture you showed of the Ocean Onyx is not in its current position. However, it's the best picture we can use in terms of how it looks in water. Also, it is 128 feet high.
You're definitely seeing the entire oil rig.
I disagree. I think you'll find that the main deck of that oil rig is almost at the horizon and you can't really see much of the legs of the oil rig.
But what is surprising beyond that is the land behind this oil rig, and it's the island that you see, or peninsula rather, right here, that is a little over 22 miles away. And the oil rig, if we look at the curve we should see for the oil rig, it should be around 60 feet of curve.
And here is where we start running into problems. First off, and as usual with the flat earthers, they are using the geometric horizon, which does not take into account refraction. Refraction is a thing, especially when you're this close to the water. Look at the image of the rig. The lights are clearly distorted, so let's use the correct values and the correct calculator, shall we? And we can see now that we should get 46 feet hidden. Now I must stress that this value is not exact and could be higher or lower depending on the conditions at the time of the observation. I would say that it's reasonable to say that that 46 feet is most of the oil rig's legs that are blocked. And that's what we see.
Not there at all. We're not seeing 60 feet of curve. We're seeing the entire oil rig. Not a whole lot of curve, I get that, or I guess not really curve, but 60 feet should be hidden. The hidden for the land beyond that, the little peninsula, is around 247 feet. Well, I thought, well, maybe there is a giant cliff on the front of this island, but looking at it, you can see that there are roads that lead almost to the shoreline, and it is flat. It's a flat little peninsula here. Everything's just a little bit above sea level, and there is not a large chain of mountains right here that should make this possible.
Well, first off, using the calculator, we get a correct value of 189 feet hidden. But all of that is irrelevant because if we take a look at Google Earth, you'll see that there are several spots of that peninsula that are over 100 meters in elevation. This is over 300 feet, so why wouldn't you see some of that peninsula?
Definitely not a surface area that's above 200 feet. And one thing that popped out when I was watching this video, I will show you right here, is the little tower. There's a tower on the shoreline of the beach, and you can see this one here when I'll slow it down, right there, the lights blinking off and on. Those towers are definitely under 200 feet.
There are two beaches on this peninsula that are visible, Indented Head and St Leonard's. Now, I scoured the internet and I could not find any information or any images of these towers that you say you're seeing.
So right there is another little impossibility with sight distances. I just wanted to share this, not going to prolong this anymore. The math is there. You can do it yourself. Go to the curve calculators. You've got the distances. I will leave those in the description along with some links to not just his video, but similar videos so you can explore them. I have witnessed lately, after going through my subscription list, that there are dozens of channels that I thought were still there, gone. They have been deleted.
Excellent news. It means we're winning.
These are good channels, not people who are sharing anything crazy or graphic or violent. Nice, kind people that share similar stuff to what we share, and they're gone. We are witnessing that at a rate that's unprecedented, and it's sad. It really is what they were saying when this was first happening a few years ago. It's like book burning, and that's really what they're doing. There's people who are putting out their thoughts based on their research. Allowing us to have free thought and share that with people was something we thought we would always have.
But it was completely and utterly wrong.
And just putting out your theory, you can't even do that. You can call it a theory even though you have proof for it, and that's dangerous. So share things while you can. We're trying to do more of that. I know that there's some channels like Taboo Conspiracy who do a great job sharing work like this.
Don't know about that, mate. He thought humpback whales proved a flat earth. Well, another observation that proves thoroughly nothing, debunked and dealt with. They really are getting desperate, aren't they? Thank you all very much for watching today. If you enjoyed it, then I'd really appreciate a like and a subscribe. I have been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a great weekend, and I'll see you all on Tuesday for some Mandela Effect Geography. See you then.